It's Saturday Night Live! Welcome, everybody. How are we tonight? It is Saturday night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's Saturday night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh, yes, it's Saturday night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's Saturday night. Hey, Jennifer, what a night. How are you tonight? Good to have you here. Kitty, welcome. Angie. Cindy's with us. How are we all doing tonight? Stephanie's with us. Welcome to the program, Jana. Welcome, welcome. Angela's here. Hey, Angela. Happy Saturday, Adele. And Dazzle. I don't want Dazzle to feel left out. Karen, welcome. Heather. Crystal's with us. Got your email, Crystal, probably tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure. Tomorrow I'm trying to get out for a little bit. Hello from Pasadena, Jenny. Sage is with us. Michelle. Sucking up to me, Michelle. Hero man. I'm not sure about that. I think Russell's your hero now. I'm a little hurt on that. Gwen, Pat's with us in Florida, Vicky's with us, Joanne in Arizona, Reno's in the house, Stella. Hi, Joanne. All right, Vicky, that's awesome. Glad to hear you are part of the PPP approvals. Again, strategy is important with that, and we'll talk about that a little bit tonight. I've worked with a bunch of people today on strategy with that to make sure they are hitting their numbers. Denver in the house. Today's Dazzle's birthday. Happy birthday, Dazzle. Wow. Happy birthday, Dazzle. That means special treats for Dazzle today. Hey, Diane. Suki in Plano is with us. Will Dazzle wear a party hat? That's what we really want to know. Can we get a picture of Dazzle with a party hat on the Narts board? Adele, that would be awesome. That would be truly awesome if we could get that. I don't think Dazzle would sit still for that. Our dogs were really good with Rebecca growing up and the things that she would put them through, including when she took them to the beauty parlor and played beauty parlor with them. So she did a lot with them. And I think we had two we always had two with Rebecca. And one realized that they only had to be faster than the other one to get away from her growing up. So, hey, Ann, good to have you with you tonight. Well, Adele, maybe you could Canva a hat on Dazzle and we could post it so we could all send birthday wishes to Dazzle on her own post tonight. I'm not sure whether she would even let you do that or get mad at you because you Canva'd her. Hey, Dana, good evening. So what is everybody grateful for this Saturday night? We are here on Saturday night. What are we grateful for today? We started our day with snow here and then clearing, so it did get clearer here. What is everyone grateful for? Fajita takeout and tequila? I looked at the tequila tonight, actually, Angie. I said, am I going wine? The liquor cabinet's getting a little light here. So I looked at, do I make margaritas or do I just go with the wine? And I went with the wine tonight. I didn't feel like a vodka and tonic. Karen got a lot of painting done. Kitty got 90 items up to her website. That's awesome, Kitty. Diane got a new puppy. Awesome. I want to see pics. You're going to have to post pics, Diane. Laurel, welcome to the program. I saw Laurel sitting out enjoying a cocktail this afternoon. Or this early evening. Prevening? Is that a word? Erica's with us tonight. Welcome. What is everybody else grateful for? Erica got takeout too. See, that's a good thing. Jana had great sales today. That's awesome. Cheers to you, Laurel, and to Ben. Good to have you all with us tonight. I'm excited to have you here. It is Saturday night. And my list is a little long for a Saturday night, so set the treadmill at an appropriate speed. I've got a bunch of stuff. Actually, it's not, my list is long, but I don't think any one topic is too long. I'll start us off with our good morning, good night book here today. Oops, where did I put my glasses? Some sales and another podcast, Jenny. Boom. Valerie's with us. Valerie and Abe out in California. Good to have you with us, Valerie. And Julie Jankowitz is with us. Great to have you here, Julie. We got you here on one side of Illinois and Tracy at the other side of Illinois. Tracy and Kitty down the other side. So, I mean, it's just great. Great to have you with us, Julie. So... And Molly's with us in Colorado. Now we can truly say cheers. Good to have you all here. Good morning. The first school dance in the gym is hella scary, but good music is playing. And your friends are here. So, F it. Let's dance. Woo! All right. I wonder how they finish that off in our good night. We'll have to take a look at that. Does anyone know what happened on this day? This day in 1775. Yes, Jody, we did make it another week. We made it another week, and we are one day closer to the end of this. One day closer. One day closer. We're going to have to take it slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. This is not a sprint. But slow and steady wins the race. Nancy's with us. And we're grateful to have you here, Michelle. We are truly grateful. I'm honored to have everybody here each night. So what happened in 1775? Any guesses? Russell's with us. Hey, Nancy. Nobody remembers what happened today in 1775. Columbus sailed somewhere. No, this involves somebody on a horse. Okay? And he had lanterns. And his lights were doing something. His lanterns... What? One if by, two if by, 1775. Paul, yes, Paul was with us. Paul Revere. Thank you, Molly. Jennifer and Molly and Stella got Paul. All right, yes. In 1775 on this day, Paul Revere took to his horse to warn about the British. One if by land, two if by sea. All right, you are with me. You know, as he trailed through Boston and warned people. So I thought his ride on this day was a good way to start us out tonight. Because we're on a ride right now, and it is quite a ride. This is not a fun ride. Neither would be riding from Boston to Concord on a horse. It can be a hard enough drive in a car, but the ride we're on is not easy, and there are a lot of opportunities and obstacles in our way. But we will get to the other side, and just like Paul got us there, we will get to the other side of this. So, I just thought that was a fitting historical point to today that I would share, because I have plenty of useless guy information, and I am there for you. Hey, Michelle Renda's with us tonight. Oh, hi. Oh, is in the house. Welcome, Michelle. So there is a grant coming on Monday. That is correct, Diane. Paul came down Route 2 before there was a Route 2. There's a grant that's going to be available for people that employ between 3 and 20 people. That's going to be available Monday afternoon. Okay, and it is going to be on the website, savesmallbusiness.com, savesmallbusiness.com. You don't have to memorize it because it will be posted on NARTS later on tonight. All the documents I'm talking tonight, I got a little organized this afternoon in between calls, and I have them all scheduled to upload to NARTS tonight, and I'm sure Adele will get them over to the Resale Strong, narts.org/Resale Strong tomorrow, but I have all the documents already scheduled, so they will go up after this call tonight. Somewhere between 9 and 10 tonight, they all go live. Hey, Kelly and Michelle. So Save Small, those are going to be $5,000 grants, up to to Save Small Business and their grants. And that's pretty cool that that is coming out on Monday, but it's for people that employ 3 to 20 employees. I'm glad you had a super lazy day today, Kelly. We all need that sometimes. One of the other things that has been a high question from all of you has been unemployment insurance for the self-employed. So if you are a sole proprietor, you're not an actual employee of your company, it passes through on your taxes. I have an actual list of where the states are by state and where they are in the process for unemployment benefits for the pandemic unemployment insurance, unemployment assistance, PUA, for the self-employed, and that will post tonight. So every state is in there, and so if you are self-employed, take a look at this because that will be posted later tonight. It's a great chart. It's actually, I got this, the people that are maintaining this list is the Association of Builders and Contractors. So a lot of those people are all 1099, self-employed people. So that is really great. Grants have nothing to do with the PPP. So if you're already getting the PPP, if you are already approved for the PPP, you are all set with that. More PPP funding for those of you that are still on the sidelines with that. Yes, Kelly, you'll be able to apply if you're self-employed and didn't pay yourself. That's the whole idea. You're going to be able to get pandemic unemployment assistance. That was all part of the CARES Act. It was all approved. The thing is, most states weren't ready for it yet. They didn't have their unemployment systems programmed to be able to handle it. And so this lays it out by state, where they are and what you have to do and who to follow up with. It's a great chart. I give the Association of Builders and Contractors a lot of credit for keeping that up and maintaining it. And I am glad to be able to share that. So that is really good stuff. And the Save Small Business grant is being run by the Chamber of Commerce. You don't have to be a member. Again, I highly recommend membership has its privileges, but that they're administering. They've had a ton of money donated to provide these grants and fund these grants to businesses, but it's about employees. So you have to employ between 3 and 20 people. Stephanie, if you should get your application in, and again, it's going to depend on your state and the math, but in general, most cases I've been able to make the PPP work in your individual situation. It's hard to say, Stephanie, for your individual situation in a video webinar, because there's a lot of idiosyncrasies with people's payroll. The less people you have, the easier it is to make it work. I will say that, regardless of when you take it. The more people you have on your payroll, the harder it is to make work if you're forced to be closed for a long period of time. So, And guidance continues to come out to the banks on this. So guidance is continuing to come out on the payroll protection program and how to administer it and the rules for that. That's actually like 5 back in my pile today. But I will post the latest notes to lenders, which has all the updates from this week. There were updates this week. I never posted the other ones. 14th, 15th, 17th, and 13th. I think those were all this week. That there were updates to the PPP guidance to banks. So that's something that continues to evolve. I would normally never sign loan paperwork, or quite honestly, I would never sign anything that says this document can be amended at any time should the rules change. Okay? And that's what the PPP, for those of us, there's probably 2 of us in this group that have read every word of their PPP loan documents, me being one, and I'm guessing there's probably one other in this group, and I think their wife's on the call of who I would guess had probably read it. But in that document that the banks give for the PPP, they actually say, should the SBA, you give authorization in the loan documents, should the SBA change something, you give blanket consideration to amend the loan document. And I would normally never sign anything that allowed such a thing. But for the PPP and the intent, and ultimately from everything that I've gotten, you can argue that the rules that applied on the day you signed it is good if that favors you better than the rules that are later. Although I think the rules that are going to come down, especially in the next week, because they have till the 26th to come out with the document of how forgiveness is fully calculated, and I think there'll be changes even after that. But I still fully expect this coming week, by everything I am getting from Washington, that they will refund the PPP and they will throw some money around to some other things. Right now, mostly to hospitals and a couple projects targeted at minorities is the thing. It is not expected this week for them. I expect that they're still going to play politics with the EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loans, until Congress comes back in May. That's just a guess based on what I'm getting from Washington. But all EIDLs that are in process are moving along, contrary to media reports. Yes, Molly, you can pay people to not work. That is true today. But there's other considerations to that, and we should talk, and because that's part of it, is to keep people off unemployment. So, Molly, in your case, for the person you emailed me about, who's collecting an extra $600 a week, if you pay them to stay home, they're going to be pissed at you. Okay? So if you pay them, to stay home, okay, and you put them back on the payroll, they are likely to earn less than they're earning on unemployment plus the $600 a week. It's also true under labor law that unless you are in a true shelter-in-place area, which there's only a couple places that are, certain parts of New York, in the New York City area, and certain parts of California, all the others stay at home and everything is guidance. So as long as you are calling them back to work, okay, and unless they have a medical condition that precludes them from working, they are required to come back or they actually can lose unemployment. Fear of getting the virus is not an acceptable reason not to return to work. Okay, and all the labor lawyers are saying that. So I have been on numerous conversations with labor lawyers and speaking on the topic. They still recommend that businesses do follow CDC guidance, although it is CDC guidance on how you clean or what things, or distancing, or things that you do. In our own business, we're talking about how do we handle consignor drop-off, and And because we're open drop-offs, do we go to a number system so that, the ticket at the deli counter to keep people away from the counter so there's proper spacing and stuff. So we're working on some of those things. But if you're providing that type of environment, then you're all set. Hey, Vina, thanks for joining us. Hey, Ellen, Dana, and Jeff. Jenny, I expect the need, you have to keep in mind that the government is spraying stimulus everywhere. Like, that's going to make the virus go away. It's going, pew, 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 pew. I don't have a prop here to spray. Pew, pew, pew. But that's what they're doing. They don't know how big the problem is. So, yes, they're absolutely underfunding the potential. But it's going to keep on coming. The money is going to keep on coming. There are going to be many, many more bills. There's going to be a lot of politicking around this. And such, and that is okay. Hey, Ellen, welcome. Hope you and Mike are having a great Saturday. It looks great at the beach there. I've seen some photos you've posted there. Yes, Jody, it's fine that you keep an older, at-risk person with multiple health concerns on unemployment. That is your choice not to call them back. But if you've got the PPP and you need to hit a certain level of payroll to convert that to a grant, you're going to have some tough decisions to make about whether you replace that person, okay, depending on your individual situation with the PPP. The PPP math is really important, and it becomes very, very individual from the time that you take it to the math. And I've worked with countless businesses to get that figured out, okay, because it really is different for each one. On when you take it, when in your area you're able to open is really key to that, so that you have some payroll. What your salary levels are, what your full-time equivalents is all a math game, and usually your banker and accountant can't handle it, and that's nothing against them. It's just this is all new to them, and it's not necessarily their wheelhouse, and they don't understand the intricacies of your business or actually running a store. They understand the behind the scenes. They don't understand what it takes in labor and stuff to do that. And ultimately, from a business owner standpoint, as a person who employs people, what I really don't want to do, what would pain most of us greater than anything, is to bring people back so that we spend PPP money and then have to lay them off again because business levels haven't restored. Again, you have to plan for the road ahead for business. For many of us, you won't resume your normal business levels probably till the fall or something. So you have to assume that when you open, normal business levels will not return immediately. Business will come back. I am absolutely convinced that we will restore normal business levels. One report that I heard yesterday said basically is like, from the International Monetary Fund's assessment of things, 2020 will be, a skip, and 2021 will be a good year. So, that is one outlook. I think we'll start to resume semi-normal business levels by the fall, but I'm doing my projections for the fall at 75-80% of normal, okay, of what we did last fall. That our fall will be off by 20% or so. And our June, if we're open in June, we'll be off potentially even more than that, but by fall we'll return to 75-80% of normal. I hope more than that, but I tend to be conservative. Gwen, absolutely. But we will be, resale is primed, okay? This industry, more than most, is primed to truly excel, especially in our markets that we deal with. You have to keep in mind, any of the news media on all the big guys, they are all canceling orders, left and right, all the way into fall and Christmas and everything. They're canceling orders. That is entirely self-defeating, okay? I can write the book on what their sales are going to be because they're not going to have the merchandise. They're not going to have the merchandise to be able to do the business that they want to do. Where after we open, we're going to be flooded with merchandise because people have been cleaning out while we've been doing this. So We are an industry that is primed to thrive in a post-pandemic world. Post-pandemic. Can I coin that? The post-pandemic world. Gwen, absolutely. I've been helping everybody. Anybody that reaches out to me, I call back. I may not call back right away, but I call everybody back. I put you all in queue and I call you back. And I sit there with the pink calculator. And I do the math. And I because everybody's situation's a little different. All you got to do is email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. That's Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. And I get back to you. Sage, the $600 is, when that actually starts arriving is based on state. Some states have already started paying it for the $600 extra payment. Other states are still getting their systems up to play. No matter what the state is, it's retroactive to the week starting 3/29. March 29th is the week that it starts. So, absolutely, do that. And also make sure if you email me, make sure you include your phone number, because most people require a call back, not just an email. Sage, they have to come back. That's the whole idea behind the PPP, is to get them off unemployment. So, yes, they will come back. In my own situation, I will be bringing, so that my employees, to give them an extra benefit, okay? I will be, bringing my people that didn't get unemployment, okay, because they might had another job or something else, or hadn't worked enough to collect unemployment. I'll be bringing those people back first, okay? I'm also going to start a 401k for my team, because partly that'll help eat up PPP money. It's one of the allowable expenses, and partly they're tired of playing teacher. They're tired of being stuck at home, and they can't keep on getting the unemployment if you call them back. So, those are all true. That is true, Michelle. I do call everybody. There is no sacred person there's nobody that I don't call back. If my mother was still alive, she would say I wouldn't call her back. But everybody else I call back. It was something on our list, Sage, to start a 401k. Email me a reminder, Jennifer, so I send you my 401k guy. Because he's a great guy, Will Hackler. He's a absolutely terrific guy. I've known him for years. Years and years and years. He's based in Massachusetts. His wife's a longtime consignor and shopper. It pisses him off, our business model, because he gets calls to come and pick up stuff at our store. And he hears rumors that his wife sells things, but he never sees any of the money from that. You wouldn't know any husbands that are like that. But, so he's always loved us, and it was actually on our list to do, and it just makes even more sense to do now with the PPP. Yes, the $600 is the CARES Act funds it starting the week of the 29th, so they have to go back and do it. So people are getting $1,200 and $1,800 retro, so it's absolutely happening. I've seen it. I've got all of my employees fixed with unemployment except for one. And I'm hoping hers gets fixed this week. In other news, for people that applied to the SBA from 3/25 or earlier, okay, be aware that the SBA, and this really isn't surprising because you've seen phishing scams and everything else, the SBA had a data breach on 3/25. So that's when they shut down and reconfigured some of their website. So you may get a letter in the mail saying they may have compromised your information and they're giving you identity protection and insurance and all this stuff. Don't lose too much sleep over it. Again, your identity is more likely to be stolen by your cousin, your kid, by somebody else than the person that stole all this data. But do be aware that did happen. Some stores have been nervous about, starting to take stuff because they've had weeks where they haven't been selling, so their racks are kind of full right now. You still need to be taking. You can't sell what you don't have, so I always recommend still taking merchandise. This will work itself out. Yes, some of this other merchandise that was great merchandise will be on, you'll have to put on sale, but people are going to have a lot of money, and so there's a lot of money on the sidelines as they get these extra $600 a week payments and such. So keep that in mind. Never stop taking. Although we may have to adjust how we take depending on restrictions in your area of the country. Stephanie, my guess is they will get a retro payment in the coming weeks. The states are all doing it differently. Massachusetts has been really weird how they've been paying it, as an example. But it is catching up, and there's no rhyme or reason from one employee to the next. One employee's gotten 2 payments together. Another one got 2 payments 1 week. Another got 3 different payments over 2 weeks. It's been weird with the extra $600, but it is definitely coming as because it's not, the states don't care. It's not their money. Okay, and they were authorized to start doing it on 3/29 through the end of July for unemployment claims. As promised, I finally do have the email you're looking for from the SBA, the one you're waiting for to tell you to get going on your loan docs. That email will be posted to NARTS tonight. And so that'll be there, and then it will be on Resale Strong by tomorrow. narts.org/Resale Strong, where we keep all of our stuff together. So something we're going to be talking about in the coming days. So I want to get this out there because we do need to start talking about it. And some of you have been so big on cutting at these times, and I'm all for that. Again, the 4 most important things to pay are food. You got to have food in your belly. You got to have food on your family's table. That is numero uno. If you need to pay your people through the last time they worked for you, okay? You need to pay your consignors within your consignment agreement. So if you pay on demand and you're closed, it's okay not to pay them till you open. And you need to pay your insurance. But what a lot of people are doing are making such drastic cuts. You have to keep in mind not to cut things that generate revenue for you. Okay? So cutting your software, cutting your online website, or we're not going to be able to cut our way out of this. Okay? A lot of what's being offered, you have to keep in mind, outside of the PPP, is loans. So if you have loans, okay, cutting isn't going to get you to the other side of this. We're going to have to grow your business. And part of growing your business is what some of you are doing right now. And we've had conversations as I've talked to people on the phone, and they're excited about what they've done in online sales. And granted, never been so excited for $20 orders, okay? $20 orders are great, okay? But you've got to figure out, like Kitty posted today, she had got 90 items to her website, which is great when she's not doing anything else. So what we need to be working on is the process for that so that we can scale it when she's back open. Okay, so when your store is operating at full capacity, so that this can be extra revenue for you and an extra source. So the processes you create now have to be scalable and growable, because how you get out of debt after this, how you make these loans disappear, is growing your way out of it. So we have to grow our way out of it, and we're going to talk more about that in the coming days. But I want to plant the seed here tonight because we do have to grow our way out of it. I also have tonight, I've got 3 more things. So let's see what else I got. Starbucks is working on getting its stores open, many of its stores starting May 4th, in modified operations. And they're using their lessons from China to do that. So some locations will continue as drive-through only. Some will feature mobile ordering for contactless pickup and delivery. And others will open for to-go ordering. And prior to COVID, this is I found interesting because I don't use their app. 80% of all customer orders in the U.S. were placed on the go prior to COVID-19. And granted, I'm assuming that this article is quoting correctly, since a lot of articles and reporters don't quote correctly, but that seemed a little high to me, that, people were ordering through their on-the-go app and stuff, but it is possible. I mean, I whip out my Starbucks card, I go in, I order, but I like the people, so for me, it's a people experience when I go in, and, sometimes I need that little bakery treat or something, so I do take care of that. So, but they're, that's just, again, keeping in mind what the big guys are doing is things we can learn from, and how we continue to move forward for our own businesses. So I've got the updated draft regulations, and again, I can't post this, but I can read it to you, okay? Because this is the what they're looking at for regulations in the Northeast on businesses. This is proposals that went to the governors from the Business Association, trade groups, and the various trade groups that are working together on things. This is the draft, and I have this because I'm a board member on too many boards. I'm blessed to be on the boards that I'm on right now, because I wouldn't have the information that I have if I didn't. So, just running these down as a quick update. Again, consumers represent 70% of our economy. May will mark 56 days since most areas have been closed. So, if stores, restaurants, and other non-essential businesses aren't fully reopened on May 1st/May 4th, at least allow sufficient staff work appropriately, socially distanced, in closed stores and warehousing facilities to fulfill customer orders from phone, email, or internet orders with shipping, delivery, and curbside pickup. And consider allowing by appointment only on-site customer service. Many states have allowed such customer services and seller inventory sales for employer liquidity purposes throughout the crisis, and to give stores some level of equality with internet sellers. Again, that hasn't happened a lot in the Northeast. It has happened in some other parts of the country where those services are allowed, but this is based on the Northeast. Shortly after that, allow commercial established openings with consumer and employee safety mitigation. Allow a statewide 40% fire occupancy code standard. Includes customers, visitors, and staffing in the occupancy standard, and apply to essential and non-essential facilities, including stores, restaurants, warehousing, office buildings, manufacturing facilities, etc. Implement an appropriate range of employee testing protection procedures as available and affordable. Allow a variety of temperature, antibody tests, and other endorsed testing while supporting masks, face covers, gloves, etc. for employees. Recognizing sourcing capabilities for a smaller company may be different than a larger employer. Implement customer safety standards. Establish sufficient social distancing parameters, including the 6-foot standard. Implement CDC cleaning and sanitizing standards, suggested face coverings, etc., and make either restrooms for hand washing or hand sanitizer available. However, care and guidance is necessary that employees are not to be put in an unacceptable role of police or government health officers enforcing government mandates on customers. Initially reduce pre-closure order weekly operatings by 20% to ensure ongoing sanitation and cleaning efforts. Continue at-risk customer hours for each open day at essential businesses, and implement on a weekly basis at non-essential businesses where possible and appropriate based on consumer traffic and demand. Continue pause on self-service food stations, buffets, sampling, etc. I miss the Costco sample, ladies, just saying. That's like date night. But hey, I digress. Continue temporary ban on reusable bags. Permissible use of plastic bags until all restrictions are lifted. If appropriate, implement above standards and loosen by Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, Suki, I've read about Texas has been big on the news. I hope that all works well. And they're actually starting the 24th. The 27th is Monday. But yes, people are going to be watching what's happening in Texas. A consumer confidence plan. Accelerate sales tax holidays to July. Implement buy in your state consumer education messaging, PSA, and events emphasizing both safety and economic importance of returning to Main Street, farmers markets, shopping, dining, and tourist locations. So with the sales tax holiday, there's actually discussion of a national sales tax holiday. And I know that doesn't help states like New Hampshire and I think Florida and stuff that don't have a sales tax, or they don't have income tax, but states that don't have a sales tax. But there's talk of a national sales tax holiday that would refund the states for that from the federal government as part of a additional bill in Congress. And there's a lot of momentum on that to get people back out and shopping. So there is talk of doing a national sales tax free week or weekend in July. And that's getting some support. So in addition to normal state sales tax holidays, which I think around 25 states have sales tax holidays at some point in the year, usually near back to school time, there is talk of a national sales tax holiday funded by the federal government. And this one, I am sure you will all love that is proposed in this. A shared responsibility rent flexibility plan. Urge targeted landlord flexibility for non-essential small businesses. Rent during the order period should be temporarily and appropriately reset to better reflect the actual sales or lack thereof of the tenant during government-mandated closures. Prevent late fees, evictions, and terminations for non-essential small businesses with 500 or fewer employees and with locations limited to that state and neighboring state during the periods of government-mandated closures. So that is very interesting, and that is what's been headed and being discussed with governors around the country. So, I mean, this particular draft is all Northeast states are discussing that draft, and all the Northeast associations were on board with that. But, that is something. And I will continue to update that. That is the draft that went out to the governors last night, I think, and to those committees that are discussing the reopening. So I got that from my boards today. So tomorrow, where are we today? We are on Saturday. So tomorrow is Sunday, and it is Self-Care Sunday, and all of you seem to like to bake. So in honor of Baking Sunday, I have a new recipe for you. Everybody loves Disney. What's not to love about Disney? Have you watched the sing-along yet? I haven't watched it. I have it taped, but I have not watched the sing-along from the other night, but I heard it was great. Okay, so the Grand Floridian Hotel at Disney, which I've never actually stayed at, but I have been to many times. I've been to the Grand Floridian Hotel many times. They do a high tea, and my mother-in-law loves tea. I do not. It is one of Neil's no foods, but not to get off topic, but they will still serve coffee during high tea. But one of their famous things is their chocolate chip cookie recipe. So I have, tonight up at Nart's, you will find the chocolate chip cookie recipe from the Grand Floridian. Last week we had the DoubleTree. This weekend you can try the Grand Floridian. I like the little tea sandwiches from there too, but I'm all for a cookie. I have enjoyed all the cookies that I have been sent. I'm gonna get huge from this. Yes, you can bump hourly pay. You could give hazard pay during the time to two people, Molly. That is what the big guys are doing. They're paying an extra couple bucks an hour during this time. And you can certainly bump up hourly pay to meet your PPP target. And you can bump up your own pay. Again, the salary cap is $99,999 is what it can't trend. So, any pay under $1,900 a week basically is covered under the PPP. So that is fine. Yes, about an hour, Jennifer. That recipe will be on the Nart's website. I know you have the flour to make that happen. Oh, hang on. Cassandra, shout from the background, because she read this. She actually sent it to me. It has powdered sugar in it. Okay, so for you bakers, I'm sure that means something. I just go for the taste, so I like to eat cookies. So powdered sugar is part of the recipe, and I guess powdered sugar must not be in a normal cookie recipe. I do not know. I know that I've got cookies left over because Jennifer sent me cookies, and then I opened the mail, and Vina sent me cookies. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Again, I'm gonna cookie my way out of this. Eat them, not bake them, because I'm not the baker. I'll do dishes though. I'll do dishes. It's not normally in chocolate chip cookies. See there, Julie, I'm getting educated here. But that is in the Grand Floridian Resort, so maybe we can talk about that again tomorrow night on Self-Care Sunday. So make sure you're doing something for yourself on that. And happy to answer that, Suzanne, your questions tomorrow. I also posted a chart. Let me rephrase that. A chart will be posted later tonight on that. Carmela, you're such a fun person. You need cookies. Okay, I'm with you on that. Maybe you could socially distance yourself from Julie. Julie's a baker. You're both in Illinois. It's all good. So let's take a look at our Good Morning, Good Night book. For those of you that were not here at the top of the show, our good morning today was, this first school dance in the gym is a hella scary, but good music is playing. And your friends are here, so F it, let's dance. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I got the moves like Jagger. Our good night tonight is good night. The first school dance in the gym is a hella scary. It's dark in here, but the music is loud. And we'll never be this young again, so let's dance. That is our good night tonight, people. I am here every night live in the Nart's private Facebook group for Nart's members, taking your questions, telling you about the day's events live every night at 8 o'clock Eastern. All of this and all the documents I cite, including cookie recipes, are posted the next day to narts.org/resalestrong. That is narts.org/resalestrong. Thank you to Adele for keeping up with me and posting all of that. I return each and every one of your calls as they come in and as you take them. Okay? I sit all day long and just return calls and work your numbers in your individual situation, because there's lots of things that I can't answer in a live video about your individual situation. But I am happy to do that. You just have to email me to get that call. You email me at Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. That is Neil at ECIstores.com. I do weddings, I do bar mitzvahs, I do anything that's a party because I like a good party. I am here for you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. You, and most definitely you are not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. It is dinner time.